Hello everybody, welcome back. Today on Fix It Fusion, we're going to be going over how to cable hide a Samsung frame, picture frame television. Remember to like and subscribe and share with all your friends. Here I'm just re-showing what I did in my first step, which I wasn't recording, is putting up the template that they provide you and making sure it's level and where I want it, centered to where it's going to be, and then literally just drill right through the paper. I use a small bit to make sure there's a stud behind where I believe there's a stud, and where I'm going to be actually placing the hangers you see me hammering in here, anchors that I'm hammering in there. Just go ahead and make sure it's the right size drill bit. I already drilled that stuff out before the video started. So here you're going to see I'm going to be placing the first of two of the TV hangers that are provided in the wall. These two are going to be in studs. The reason I'm not putting the other one on is because it's actually going to sit on top of the box that's going to be hiding the brain and the cables inside of the wall. Here I'm just checking the level. You don't see it in the video, but let's skip ahead to here. I have already placed the box on the wall where I want it. Marked out where the studs I believe were. I was off by about a ½ inch. And I'm using a all-purpose cutting tool to cut out the drywall where I need. Here you'll see that I'm using one of my fingers on the wall to make sure that the line is straight. So essentially I got 3 points of contact, 2 on the tool and 1 on the wall. And that helps stabilize it and guide as you guide it through the lines that you've created. At all points when I'm cutting, I have one finger. It doesn't have to be the same finger, however you feel comfortable, but make sure there's a finger on the wall. After I've made my my guiding line, now I can just cut straight through. I try not to cut too far in because I don't know what's in the wall. I happen to know on the other side of this wall there is a door for the exterior door, so I imagine there's nothing there. But the reason I mentioned don't cut all the way in there is because you don't know if there's a water line or electrical cables back there. And if you're using a knife here to pull it out, you can see there's insulation. This is an exterior wall, which means that I'm going to have to drill through 3 2x4s that are actually holding the exterior door just on the other side of this wall. And just try to get the insulation out. If you're running into insulation that is not made out of wool, as this is, I suggest you put gloves on because it may be fiberglass and you don't want that stuff on your skin. This is actually something similar to wool and doesn't have fiberglass in it, so I'm not worried. I'm also going to take out some on the right side of this because I have to go down about 8 inches to where the light fixture is. I'm going to go clean through the 2x4s and just run the electrical from there to there. Here I'm just getting the bits that I need. You can see on the bottom right corner, I apologize for the bad angle. In another video I'll be showing how to do the electrical portion of this. Once you have run the Romex through, or the electrical cable that you're using, then I'll show in a different video how you actually wire that in. But here I'm just showing that I'm drilling through 3 2x4s. So I have 2 extension sticks and a large drill bit about ½ inch, or 3/4 of an inch if need be. Be mindful that you only have a 2x4's width, and you don't want to go through the exterior wall. Give yourself a whole lot of headaches if you go through that exterior wall, I'll tell you what. At any portion, if you feel that the video is going too fast, just back it up, slow things down, and see what you need to see, and, go back to normal. Here I'm just cleaning up the wall from where using the tool actually dirtied the paint. I'm using a magic eraser, and I'll be using that to get rid of any markings that I made with pencils later on. Magic erasers work best when they're wet. You can see here I'm running the electrical through the hole I made. Sorry again for the bad angle. The camera's on my my head, so I can free up my hands, and I don't have a cameraman. So here we go. Just ran it right through the hole. I had to finagle it a little bit, just, it's not a perfectly clean hole. And, cut it where you need be. Again, I'll be showing how to do the electrical in a different video. But here I'm going to be trying to insert this box. I mentioned earlier I'm going to have to cut about a 1/2 inch off the left side because there's a 2x4 on the right side. And it fits perfectly snug between two 16-inch apart 2x4s. Here I'm filling back in where I removed some of the insulation. I'm going to open up a hole in the bottom of the box so I can run the electrical cable through. There was a little snag on the left and a nail in the back that I had to knock down. Just had to cut a little piece of drywall from the top left of the box, and then there was a nail going through the exterior wall. Probably shot through. So I just had to knock it down. Here I am opening up the hole in the bottom of the box. Just ran into the nail, knocked it down. Inlay your box. This is going to be the interior portion of the box. There is a cover plate for this. That's why I said I didn't worry too much about the extra 1/2 inch on the left side and on the right side. Now that the 2x4 is exposed, run the electrical box. Now this part, I put a electrical box in there. It's not 100% necessary because this is a big box, but I want to protect anything that's inside, so I put an electrical box in there that's going to house the outlet, so it's actually sitting snug against something. I just ran a drywall screw through the top of this, and so here I just went ahead and skipped ahead. I just placed the brain of the picture frame, Samsung picture frame TV inside of there, and I'm going to be wiring everything up. Here I am looking for the electrical cable. There we go. And plug it in, and if there's anything else that you're going to be putting in there, be it Roku or whatever it is that you want to place in there that can fit, you can place it in there now, plug it in, and you're getting ready to close up the box. So here I am just plugging in, and they're going to be using this as to demonstrate art and family photos and such. So they don't really want to plug anything in, and the Samsung TV does come pre-installed with plenty of smart TV options. This is actually the cable that connects the TV to the picture frame TV, and I'm just plugging that in and getting it ready. Soon we're going to be hanging the TV and finishing up with this whole process. I put a little screw in there just to hold it up, make it look neat. I don't want that cable just hanging at the bottom of this box for loosey-goosey. Here I am placing this thing on. Now what I should have done, just remove those. And yeah, there you go. It comes with screws. Use the screws in hand. They work pretty well. Put 4 of them in. You could use other screws. There are 8 holes. You don't need to put screws in all 8. But if you're going to be using the manufacturer's screws, put it in the smaller of the 2 holes on all 4 corners. Finally, I'm closing everything up. It might take a little finagling here, just squeezing it in. It's kind of just clipped in place, so you can feel free to bend it a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything. And this is almost done. Here we are. This is a very clean setup. Again, using the magic eraser just to remove any lines from markings, from measuring that I did in the very beginning. If you want to know how to measure height and vertical and horizontal, I have videos about artwork. You can use the same principles to measure these things. It's not rocket science, but if you really have any questions, feel free to comment, and I will go more in depth in that in another video. Alright, just putting on the last hanger for the TV. As I said, I put it in last because it sits on top of the cover plate, as you can see. The left side's a little bit, maybe about a quarter, not even, like 1/8 of an inch off the wall versus the left. You could theoretically place a washer on the left side if you want it to be absolutely perfect, but in this case it didn't bother anything, since the TV has these little cushions that push it off the wall enough where this isn't affecting it. Alright, everybody, like and subscribe. Talk to you guys next time.